We're moving on into the leg yield here now, and this really shouldn't be that big of a deal if you've done all of your shoulder in work, counter shoulder in work. So with the leg yield, just set them up just the same as you would with your shoulder in. So I bring my outside rein back, hand down to the shoulder, I connect up my inside rein. If I can get farther down the bit, I will. If I still need to be on the bit, I will do that. So just kind of play with where does that hand need to be. So I'm going to ask her to walk off. And then I'm going to come around to the corner here, and we're going to do a little bit of counter shoulder in, and just a real slight counter shoulder in. Coming through the corner here and a little counter shoulder in. And then once I get on the rail here now, is I'm going to just ask her to diagonal across the arena. And that's pretty nice. I don't have to go far, and then I can go straight ahead. And then I might go, oh, and let's do it again. So I have a slight bend towards me and asking the horse to move across the arena here. So technically a leg yield is the body's really pretty straight, just a slight bend away from the direction of travel or towards you, moving diagonally across the arena. And if you were ever in a show, not that they really do shows for the in-hand work, but if you're riding, that's what they're going to look for. But gymnastically, that isn't as beneficial as if you keep a little bit more bend in their body, kind of like a shoulder in or counter shoulder in positioning. And that helps to get a little more crossover and suppling through the rib cage. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. So I'm going to just pick her up, head off down the rail here again, and show you that. So the idea is to diagonal, but keep parallel, keep her body fairly parallel to the rail. So here's a little bit of a bend and counter shoulder in slightly, and then we head off diagonaling across the arena. I don't want the hind end leading. I want the hind end trailing slightly. There's a bend through the body. Good. And then once I get a few strides, I can go straight ahead. And then once I get to the corner here again, I can set up and do it again. So I'm going to just bend her slightly to me. Now I'm going to look across diagonally and head off down the arena. Now if your horse tends to lead and kind of just walk straight across like that, you're not really diagonaling. Their body should be fairly parallel to the long wall as they're diagonaling over that way. So if the front end's leading and the hind end's trailing too much, there's several different things that you might need to do. You might need a little more outside rein to control the shoulder. And you might need a little bit more whip to activate to say, hey, step up underneath and cross over. I'm putting a little feel on the shoulders here. This hand here on her shoulder saying step across. My focus is out and across. And I use the whip when I need to say, hey, let's get some crossover. But not too much crossover. See there, she's kind of doing more sideways than forward. And I want to have about a 30 to 45 degree angle. So if I'm standing here, I want to head towards the corner, between C and the corner, not too much straight sideways. If I go too much straight sideways, it's going to be more of a crossover and not a lift and forward. And some horses, they'll want to just go more straight ahead, and other horses are going to want to go more sideways. So you really have to watch that. So what I mean by sideways is there's not a lot of forward, and she's just going side passing across the arena. And that's not a bad movement, you can do that, but that's not a leg yield. So you want to be going as much forward as you are going sideways. Almost a little bit more forward than sideways. Yeah, good. And then I can go straight ahead again. And then another exercise you can do is what I call the stair stepping. And this also helps to keep your horse more parallel to the long wall. Is I'll diagonal across. If my horse gets too straight, and I mean straight following the diagonal, not staying on the long wall, is then I'll just go straight ahead following the long wall on the line that I'm on. And set it up again and then say, hey, and let's leg yield. Good. And then I can go straight ahead again. And that's really going to help control the body parts, keep the angles right, keep you from losing the shoulder, and keeping the engagement with the inside hind. I'll just show you that again. So I'm going straight ahead, tip her nose to me slightly, and say, and let's diagonal across and go straight ahead. And pick up our leg yield, diagonal across. Yeah, and straight ahead. So it's like you're doing a little stair step coming across the arena. So those are a couple different techniques, and you can also do your leg yield on the circle. So I'll just change sides here and show that to you here. So I'm going to pick her up, ask her to pick up a circle, and need a little bit more walk. She's kind of getting a little lazy there. And now I'm on my circle, so I'm going to ask her to diagonal out on the circle. So I focus out, and it's not a total side passes, there's still some forward. And then I can go back to my circle. And I'm going to come to a halt and just kind of show you. So if the center of my circle's here behind me, I'm not going to go straight out there. I'm going to diagonal off that direction there. It's like I'm going to enlarge the circle, but I'm not going to just have her turn and walk out on the circle. She has to leg yield out. She has to cross over with the front and hind to enlarge that circle. Or if you think of it like you're standing on a big bullseye, and we're walking around one ring of the bullseye. So if the bullseye's right behind me, and we're on the first or second ring right now, and then we're going to enlarge to the third ring. Go straight ahead. And then we can leg yield and enlarge to the fourth or fifth ring and continue on around the circle. And it might even help you to throw a cone out there. So my center of my bullseye is still over there. And I can enlarge even a little bit more. Say leg yield out over that way, and nice. And now I'm just gonna circle back to the inside. And if I needed to, I could set up and do that again. You get to choose how many rings on your bullseye do you want to go out. In the beginning, it's best to just do 1 or 2, because you get that 1 or 2 enlarging, leg yielding. Then you can go straight ahead and leg yield out, enlarging, go straight ahead, leg yield out, enlarging, and straight ahead. Really keeping her soft and long through the neck here, getting control over the shoulders as you're playing around with that. So that's how you can add in your circles and start playing with some leg yields on your circle. So you're going around and then just enlarge a little bit and a little bit more. It's like you're just gonna get bigger and bigger on your bullseye pattern, and then you can circle back to the inside and do that again. So that's playing with leg yield on your diagonal and leg yield on your circle. Go out there, play with that, see how it's working for you. In the next videos, we're going to go on into some more different movements and how you can start combining these different exercises of your shoulder and your counter shoulder and your leg yield, and start putting them into some fun patterns. Go out there, start creating some of your own patterns, and I'd love to hear how that's working for you. See you in the next video.